Welcome back to another episode of The Radio Psychs, your premier podcast for insights into everything mental health. I'm Dr. Aaron Haddock.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Yu. We're psychologists who care about people and bringing science to practice.
And we're so glad to have you join us.
Please note that the information shared in this episode is solely intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Today's topic is sowing the seeds of happiness, flourishing, and well-being.
Hey, Rondi. How's it going?
Oh, pretty well. How about you?
I'm all right. Now, this might seem a little out of the ordinary to ask, but why would you say you're doing well?
Why am I doing well? No, I don't know. I've had some coffee and it's Saturday morning. What more do you want?
I'm with you there. But what about on a deeper level? Like, if you had to rate your current life on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the best possible life, where would you land?
Ooh, that's a pretty heavy question. Is this how you operate? Someone asks, how's it going? And you ask them if they feel like their life's worth living?
Nah, I reserve questions like this for you, man. Well, that's not entirely true. I am a psychologist after all. No, I asked because the results of the annual World Happiness Report were just released, and they posed this question to around 1,000 people from each of the 130 countries they survey. It's fascinating.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's an interesting survey. My understanding is that it's trying to get at the factors contributing to human well-being and explore the differences that exist around the world and at different stages of life. You know, what makes life worth living and what makes us happy? These questions are as old as human civilization itself.
Definitely. Thinkers across fields from philosophy to religious studies to economics and more have offered insights into these questions.
However, since our podcast is centered around psychology, we're going to narrow our lens to the area of our field focused on these questions, positive psychology. So why don't we start there with the advent of positive psychology?
Sounds good. So, broadly speaking, we might say that positive psychology shifts the focus from what's wrong with us to what's right with us. Traditionally, psychology concentrated on pathology, disorders, and treating mental illnesses.
That's right. What Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, has called psychology's venerable goal of relieving misery and uprooting the disabling conditions of life.
However, in the latter part of the 20th century, there emerged a growing realization in the field that understanding the factors that cause suffering and helping to relieve them is just one part of the equation. There's another equally important side, exploring what makes life worth living and our potential for growth, happiness, and flourishing.
Exactly. Positive psychology aims to be a complement to traditional psychology by focusing on building strengths, enhancing well-being, and enabling individuals to thrive and flourish.
And this is not pop psychology. This involves applying the same rigorous research methods and careful scientific inquiry that have shaped traditional psychology, but now to understanding mental wellness and cultivating a joyful, meaningful, and fulfilling life worth living.
This shift in the field of psychology has generated new insights on love, relationships, happiness, meaning, and so much more. It's actually a pretty massive topic for a short podcast episode, so why don't we provide an overview, then follow up in more detail on specific topics down the line?
Sounds good. So, in his 2011 book, Flourish, A Visionary New Understanding of Happiness and Well-Being, Seligman described 5 research-backed elements that, together, undergird the construct of well-being.
Wait, hold up. Before we get into those, you said the construct of well-being. I think we should unpack the concept of a construct.
Yeah, good call. A construct is an abstract concept that is specifically designed to be useful in a scientific or scholarly context. It represents a phenomenon that isn't directly observable or tangible, but is instead inferred from observable behaviors, outcomes, or other measurable elements.
Yeah, constructs are often used to explain or predict behavior in psychology, sociology, and other social sciences. Some common examples include intelligence, motivation, emotion, and personality. Since these are not directly measurable, researchers develop constructs as theoretical models that help in understanding complex human behaviors and mental processes by relating them to observable and measurable indicators.
So, when we talk about the construct of well being, we're referring to a comprehensive concept composed of various elements that contribute to a fulfilling and flourishing life.
Okay, with this in mind, let's get into the elements of well being. Based on clear criteria and extensive research, Seligman defined 5: positive emotion, engagement, meaning, positive relationships, and accomplishment. Why don't we take each in turn?
Sounds good. So, positive emotion refers to those feelings that bring us joy, contentment, and happiness. It's the part of well being that encompasses our ability to experience pleasure and satisfaction in life. Think of moments that make you genuinely smile or feel a deep sense of gratitude. That's positive emotion in action.
Next up, we have engagement. This element is about being fully absorbed and involved in activities, also known as being in the state of flow. When you're so immersed in what you're doing that you lose track of time, you're experiencing engagement.
Then there's meaning. Meaning comes from serving something beyond ourselves, contributing to a larger cause, or finding a purpose that gives direction to our lives. It's what gives us a sense of belonging and significance in the world and makes our activities and lives feel valuable.
Another element is positive relationships. Humans are social creatures, and positive relationships refer to the connections we form that provide love and support and enhance our well being. It's those deep, meaningful relationships that enrich our lives and give us a sense of community and belonging.
This one's particularly important. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, which is the longest running happiness study that began in the 1930s, along with numerous other longitudinal studies, has consistently found that good relationships are the key to a healthy, happy, and fulfilling life.
And lastly, we have accomplishment. This element is about pursuing success, mastery, or achievement for its own sake. It's setting goals and reaching them, feeling a sense of pride and fulfillment in our achievements. Whether it's personal or professional, accomplishment gives us the confidence that we can contribute and make a difference.
Together, these 5 elements form the construct of well-being. By focusing on and cultivating these aspects of our lives, we can work towards leading a more fulfilling and flourishing existence.
In future episodes, we'll dive deeper into each of these elements with research-based strategies and practical exercises for enhancing them.
And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and questions on our social media. Let's create a community of flourishing together.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the landscape of well-being. We hope this episode has planted seeds of flourishing in your daily life. If you've enjoyed our time together, please consider subscribing to our podcast and sharing it with friends.
Until next time, take care and be well, everybody.
Take care and be well.